start streaming. All right, we're rolling. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to talk about how to make travel plans. How to make travel plans is our topic for today. So, welcome. As you join the live stream, please don't forget to hit the like button and of course share the video too. I'm going to do the same. You can watch the live stream on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram as well. But the best place is probably YouTube or Facebook. So thanks for joining. We're going to start very soon. We'll give everyone a little time to join the live stream and then we're going to begin. So as we begin, I don't see chat yet. I'll pull up Facebook. I'll pull up Facebook chat myself. But then I haven't seen the YouTube chat yet, so I hope everything's good. But while we wait, I have, as always, just something, a little reminder from the channel to share. So if you have not seen it yet on the channel, there's a new episode of Ask Alicia, the weekly Q&A series that you can watch on the channel. So if you haven't watched that, this week's is about, I talked a little bit about how to use the word though. A lot of you ask about using the word though, especially at the end of a sentence. So I talked a little bit about where you can find an answer for that. And then I talked about the difference between like don't have to and have not, I think it was. So there's some good grammar reminders there. So please check that out if you haven't already. Okay, it looks like Facebook is up. Twitter is also up. Fantastic. I think it's all up. I think YouTube is also rolling, which looks pretty good. Yes, good. Okay, YouTube is up. I see everybody. Hi, everybody. We're ready, I think. Fantastic. Okay, then now that everyone is here, yeah, I already talked a little bit about kind of the new episode of Ask Alicia that's on the channel, but there's also other good stuff for you to check out there too. So please do so. Okay, then now that everything's ready, hi YouTube, hi everybody. Whoa, Eduardo, Isaiah, two Eduardos, Mogi, Thai from Morocco. Wow, cool. Okay, welcome. Okay, I see everything. Great, we're ready. All right, so now that everything is rolling, I want to get into today's topic, which I said is how to make travel plans. How to make travel plans is today's topic. So I mentioned before, sorry, I'll talk a little more slowly now. I mentioned before, we're going to talk about three main things today, three kind of main categories. We're going to talk about expressions for making your plans. We're going to talk about how to change your plans. And then we're going to talk about canceling them as well. So those three things. And I'm going to focus a lot on some vocabulary that you can use to sound a bit more natural. We'll also do a quick grammar review kind of in the middle of today's lesson too. So we have a lot to do. Hi everybody. Hi Junior, Ronald, Junelson, Sandra, Hector, Gerson, and it's Diego and Kwang and Juan on Facebook. Great, lots of people watching. Welcome. Okay, so let's begin with the first part of today's lesson, please. The first part of today's lesson is going to be about booking. So booking means making your reservations. Let me just scroll down in my notes here. Okie dokie. So let's begin with the first part of today's lesson, which is making a reservation. So I just used the word booking. So this is a key vocabulary word for today, to book. So to book. So I know you guys probably all know the noun, like book, something you read. But to book means to reserve. And at least in American English, we use the word book a lot more than we use reserve. Reserve sounds more formal than book. So when we make a reservation, when we make like a reservation for a flight, a reservation for a hotel, for an activity, a restaurant, whatever, you can use the verb book. So we'll see a couple, so I kind of made some example sentences to show you how we use these expressions. So the first one that uses the word book as a verb, we'll see in just a second. This is Yeah, can we see that one? That's perfect. Perfect. Okay, so here we can see it. I need to book my flight. I need to book my flight. So this is when you're making travel plans. You're preparing for travel at this phase. I need to book my flight. I need to book my flight. So here we have book, which I mentioned means reserve. I need to reserve my flight. Need to, if you like, you can change this to I have to. I have to book my flight. That's also okay to use. So book, this will be a key vocabulary word for today. Okay. Then the past tense of book is booked. So I'll just write it here in parentheses. Booked is the past tense. So after you make your reservation, after you've completed that, you can use the past tense booked to describe that. Ooh, I'm going to move the mic because I can't see my notes. Okay. Oh yeah, we have two examples now. That's great. So I need to book my flight, and I need to book my flight to Italy. So here's an example of how you can use the expression with a specific location. I need to book my flight to a location. Okay, so let's go on then to the second pair. If we can see both pairs, like both sentences on screen at the same time, that'd be perfect. So when you want to explain your travel plans, like you finished making the reservation, you can use this past tense booked to do that. So we'll see that in just a second. I think there's a bunch on the screen right now. Ta-da. Alrighty. Yes, perfect. Okay, so to use past tense then, after you make the reservation, we use this past tense booked. The pronunciation of this is booked. It's a T sound, not booked, but booked. So I booked a flight. Dahens in YouTube says, what does that mean, flight? Flight means your airplane travel. So this sentence means I reserved airplane travel, a seat on airplane travel from city A to city B. So in this case, example, I booked a flight from Tokyo to Venice, for example. So this is how we use booked to talk about our travel plans. Okay, so the next point, when you're talking about your travel plans, specifically flights and maybe like buses or trains or whatever, there are a couple of expressions we use to talk about time frames for those, like the travel time, travel related expressions. So one keyword is layover. Layover. So a layover, you might also hear stopover as well. Stopover. So layover, I'll also include it here, stopover. I think in American English, we tend to use layover a little bit more. So layover or stopover, these mean the time between flights. The time between flights. So from the moment your flight arrives in one city, your waiting time is your layover. So you have waiting time and then your next flight. So your time between your flights is the layover time. That's the layover time. So we'll see some examples. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So we'll see a couple examples. I hope you guys can see this on Facebook. I have and then your time period, layover in your city name. So I have a 3-hour layover in New York City, for example. One huge point here, though, this part, you'll see 3-hour. This is singular. So don't use the plural 3 hours. I have 3-hour. So why? Because this right here, this is attached to this noun. Layover is the noun. This right here is like an adjective, 3-hour. We don't use the plural form here. We always use the singular. So I have a 1-hour layover. I have a 2-hour layover. I have a 5-hour layover in Paris, for example. So yes, this is like when you're traveling. Yes, stopover. As I said, stopover is the same. Stopover and layover are the same. Yes, so this is the period in between your travels, like in between your flights, or maybe like in between train travel, like from station to station. Yeah. So this is the expression we use. So please use the singular form here. I have a 3-hour layover in New York City, for example. So these are a couple key words to talk about your actual planning for travel and to explain your travel plans. Okay, good. And send some questions too. I see lots of people saying hello. Oh, and don't forget to hit the like button when you join as well. But if you have questions, for sure. Sharif, why don't you use the plural for hours? We don't, as I just said, we do not use the plural form for hours because this is an adjective. This is acting as an adjective. This is modifying this noun right here. When it's acting as an adjective, there's no plural form used. Use the singular. This applies to everything like age or time related as well. Check the video, the live stream video on adjective order for more details about this point. Okay, let's take a break though. Whew. It's hot in here today. Let's take a break. Hamod on YouTube, I have an hour, because hour starts with a vowel sound. We use an before vowel sounds. Thanks for the question. Okay, phew, it is hot in here. It is getting warm in this location. Phew, but let's talk about this free thing that I'm fanning myself with. Today, as always, we have free stuff for you guys. So if you have not, please make sure to check the link below the video on YouTube and above the video on Twitter and on Facebook as well. So we have a bunch of free PDFs for you guys. This is perfect for today. So the free PDF cheat sheet, checking in at a hotel. So of course there are vocabulary words here for the places in a hotel. Yes, but these are some key things. We're going to talk about these in just a moment, some of these. These are expressions, questions, and sentences to use at your hotel. So for example, when you check in at a hotel or when you need to make a request at a hotel. This is a really, really good resource for today's lesson. So please go download this from EnglishClass101.com. It's totally free. Totally free. So check the link below the video or above the video. Yeah, you can see now this is just one. There are a lot actually of these. So maybe you could check the restaurants one as well, the around town one for your travels too. So there are a lot of really good resources to check out. Everything is free, so definitely go download those. You can do it now or you can do it later after the lesson. Now is good. That's fine. We'll be here. Okay, so if you are just joining, today's lesson, yes, is about how to make travel plans. How to make travel plans. We just talked about some key expressions for making your plans. We talked about this key word to book something, and we talked about the word layover as well. So now we're going to move on to talking about reservations, like how to make reservations for things, and maybe a little bit about grammar to use too. So let's go along. Oh yeah, and if you're just joining, don't forget to like the video, please, please, please. Okay, I'm gonna steal the mouse for just a second. Thank you. Scrolling down. Oh, I didn't see that in my notes. Okay, I'll add that here. Shoot. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next part. Hotels and activities will be the next part. So the first part focused in a lot on transportation, airplane transportation. But the next part is going to be about like hotels and activities that you do during your travel. So as we talked about, for hotels, we can use the same verb. I need to book my hotel is fine to use there. Then we can use the same thing for tours. So we'll see in just a second a couple of example sentences of how to use book for tours and for activities. So I talked about using book for flights, like I need to book my flight. We can use that for activities for hotels as well. So we'll see this in just a moment. Perfect. That looks good. Yeah, so I included some for tours and some that are just for everyday activities. So the first expression up here is I booked a tour of plus your city and the area you're visiting. So for example, I booked a 3-hour, again singular, I booked a 3-hour bicycle tour of London. This is true. I did this last summer. That was fun. Then you can also just use it for a simple activity as well. This is something you can use even in your hometown now, in your home city right now. So I booked a haircut, for example. So that's nice. So this is a really, really useful verb, I think. So this is something you can use any reservation you want to make. I booked a restaurant is good. Maybe a really important keyword for today. Good. Vinicius, yes, you can use book for a table at a restaurant. Yes. Yes. Okay, so with this though, with what we've talked about so far here, I want to review some key grammar points with a few sentences. Someone is exploding my Instagram right now. Sorry, Kyle. Okay, good. So I want to review then. So now we have a couple of key vocabulary words here. I want to review some key grammar points that you need to use, I think, correctly when you're talking about your travel plans and you're explaining them to people. So we're going to talk for grammar today, or for grammar in this part. I'm going to focus on a couple of key points, and they are simple present tense. Simple present tense. So this is for timetables and schedules. We use simple present tense for timetables and schedules. And then we're also going to talk about like progressive tense, ing at the end of verbs, will and won't, and going to and not going to. So this first point, this will be for timetables and schedules. So I'll write schedules here. So timetables and schedules, we'll use simple present tense to talk about that. I'll give you an example in just a moment. This point is going to be for your future activities. So again, I'll share an example, a couple examples in just a second. Okay, so I made a sample a very short itinerary for this sort of practice. So let's take a look at this part. Okay, so a few just simple sentences, a few just kind of activities to take a look at this grammar. First part, we see my flight leaves at 12 o'clock. My flight leaves, this is present tense, simple present tense that I just talked about. So my flight leaves. To leave gets conjugated to leaves because my flight is the subject, it. My flight leaves at 12 o'clock. Same thing in the next sentence. I arrive in Paris at 4 p.m. the next day. So I arrive. So here, arrive. Arrive is also in present tense, simple present tense. But there's no S at the end because the subject is I. I arrive. No S at the end of that. So next step will be, after I check in at my hotel, I'm going to do a little sightseeing. So here I used going to talk about a future plan because I've already decided the plan. I've already determined what I'm going to do. So I use going to express that. Then meet a friend at a restaurant I booked for dinner. So here we have this key vocabulary word again. I'm going to meet a friend at a restaurant I booked for dinner. Perfect. So we can include that there. The next day, here, I'll probably get breakfast at a nearby cafe. So right here is another key grammar point, I'll. This is the contracted form, the reduced form of I will. I'll probably. So will, as I said, like we've talked about will and won't in this live stream before. You can go back and check other episodes of this. But will is used for decisions that we make quickly, like in a conversation, or will is used to talk about things we haven't like officially decided yet. We're still maybe thinking about it. So here I've included I'll, but I added probably. So it means like I'm not 100% sure, but there's a pretty high chance I'm going to do that thing. I'll probably do blah, blah, blah. Something like that. Okay, So this is a sample itinerary. We're using simple present tense for timetables, and then we're using the progressive tense, ing, will, won't, and going to talk about the activities in that schedule. There's a lot of grammar in this actually, but this is quite typical for talking about your travel plans. So I hope that this is helpful. Abod, why did I say get breakfast and I didn't say have breakfast? Just because I wanted to. Like, you can use both. Both are fine. Both are fine. So the next day I'll probably have breakfast at a nearby cafe. That's fine also. So there's not always just one correct choice. So don't worry so much. Okay. Good. Good. Sounds good. All right. With that then, let's take another break. Let's take another break. Squeaky chair. Let's take another break to talk about some free stuff, as always. Free stuff this week. I mentioned this is perfect. Our perfect one for today is this checking in at a hotel cheat sheet, the free one. So on the back, actually, here, there's a really nice one. If you have not reserved a restaurant, there's this expression. Could you, I can't read backwards. Could you please recommend a good restaurant around here? So this is probably a really, really good resource when you're traveling and you need to know like a few key expressions you can use in the hotel or around the place that you're visiting. So check this out. It is free. You can get this from the link below the video on YouTube, above the video on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch. Instagram, maybe it's in the profile. I don't know. But please check it out. It's totally free. If you just log in with your account, you can download everything that's on the screen right now. So there's a lot of stuff. I'm showing one of these today, but there's a whole bunch. There's a lot of these to check out, so please take a look. They are free. Alrighty then. Good stuff. Good stuff. Are book and reserve the same? Yes and no. Yeah, book is the same meaning as reserve, but it is more casual. Reserve sounds more formal. Okay. Alrighty, let's continue on to the third part for today's lesson. I'm going to take the mouse again. All right, so the third part of today's lesson is going to be about changing your plans or canceling your plans. So let's get into it. Oh yeah, if you're just joining, today we are talking about how to make travel plans, also how to break them. So now we're going to talk about how to cancel your plans. So we've talked about the word book as a verb, but now let's look at some different ways to use it. So when you need to cancel a plan, you can use the verb cancel. So to cancel, we can use, some of you have already used this, to cancel a booking or to cancel a reservation. So these are the noun forms of these same expressions. To book, so to book as a verb, we can make it a noun by saying booking. To make reserve, change from a verb to a noun, we can use reservation. So I need to cancel my reservation, for example. I canceled my reservation. I canceled my flight. Perfect. So here we can see, this is the sample pattern. How to make this. I canceled plus some activity, some reservation point. Ooh, I canceled my flight. I canceled my hotel. I canceled the restaurant, for example. So use canceled in the past tense. The pronunciation here is a D sound. Canceled. There. So booked has a T sound. Canceled has a D sound there. I canceled my flight. I canceled my reservation. Then, when you need to make a change, like you need to change the time or you need to change the place or something like that, just use the verb to change. So, to change a reservation. To change a reservation. I need to change my reservation. Perfect. So, I changed here. I changed the booking for some reservation. So I changed the booking. Again, booking means reservation. I changed the booking for the hotel, for example. I changed the booking for the tour as well. So please use the verb change to describe that. Okay. Sometimes to make a change, you need to add people. Like more people are coming to the restaurant, for example. When you want to change a reservation so that more people can join, you can use to add people. I need to add people to the reservation. So let's take a look at an example of this. Okay, I'm going to add plus the number of people to your booking. I'm going to add 2 people to the booking, for example. So here also I contracted, sorry. I changed this to I'm gonna, the more like a casual version. So in speech we say I'm gonna or I'm gonna add 2 people to the booking. So to increase the number of people, please use add. I'm gonna add 2 people to the booking. All right, so these are maybe expressions you can use for like restaurants or perhaps hotels, I suppose. About why did I say booking and I didn't say book? Again, this is the noun form. This is the noun form. Booking is a noun. To book is a verb. This is a grammatical difference. Okay. Let's talk now about a couple expressions you can use for changes on your flight. So there are 2 expressions, 2 keywords I want to mention for this part. First one is to upgrade. To upgrade. So here we see up, like actually like to move this direction. And then grade means like level. So on a flight, there's typically maybe 2 grades, 2 levels. There's the regular flight and then like the first class or business level. So to upgrade means to move up to the next level in your flight. So if you say, yes, we'll see that in just a second. Perfect. Thanks, Kyle. I upgraded to business class. I upgraded this part. I upgraded to business class. It means you yourself, you chose to move up to the next level. So maybe you paid for a business class seat. However, you see this expression here, to get bumped up, to get bumped up. This part. So to get bumped up, this is something you did not choose. To get bumped up means someone else, probably the staff at the airline, decided to move you into business class. So we use bumped up, bumped up. This is like kind of a casual sort of word, which is like a quick pushing motion. Like I got bumped up to business class. So this is generally a happy thing. So you want to get bumped up to business class. However, just keep in mind the who made the decision. This is the different between these 2 sentences. I upgraded to business class. I decided to do that. I got bumped up to business class. I did not decide to do that. Someone else did it. I got bumped up. Okay. Good. Okay. How to book a hotel. We talked about expressions for booking hotels. You'll have to do that on like websites, I think, probably. That will be a little bit different. Or you can check maybe some of the free stuff we talked about earlier today too. All right, but those are kind of the key vocabulary words I wanted to talk about today. So I think, oh my gosh, this time goes so quickly. It's already like 30 minutes past the hour. That was so fast. Wow. Okay. So I have to finish up for today. So if you missed it, please don't worry. This is a video you can check on the Facebook page and on Twitter and on YouTube and on Instagram, everything basically. So please come and check us out if you missed anything. Let's see. Katsukichi, is upgrade from business to first class correct? It could be, yeah, if there's a difference between business class and first class on your flight, then sure, that's fine. Okay. Good. But I have to finish there. I'm late now. So thank you so much, as always, for joining our lesson this week. Next week we are going to be back. Next week's topic is going to be how to make a presentation. I'm going to talk about presentations and kind of the general flow for presentations and some patterns that you can use at the different stages of presentation. So the introduction to your presentation, a summary, all those kinds of things. We'll talk about this next week. So that's next week, May 23rd, Wednesday, May 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. If you don't know your time, please Google it. You can do it, I'm sure. So next week we'll talk about how to make a presentation. So please, please, please join us again next week. Okay. We'll finish there for today, but please make sure to go download all this good free stuff from the website. This class is going to finish now, so please check this out and get some free study tools on EnglishClass101.com. All right, I'll finish there. So thank you so much for liking the video, for sharing the video, for joining this week, and for sending your great questions and comments. Have a nice day, have a nice night, and I'll see you again next week. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.